Hi, it's Daniel for another kind of quick video. I have limited time this week, I've been traveling, but I do have some more intensive projects coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. Today I'm once again talking over the still limits of a single map, and specifically I'm discussing the boundaries between continents. First off, how many continents exist according to how you were taught? If you're watching this video, which as a recording is only available in English, chances are likely you were taught 7. In addition to the English-speaking world, this is also true for much of Asia. However, apparently in Russia and some neighboring countries, I don't know for sure, I've never been to school in Russia, a 6-continent model is taught, combining Europe and Asia. Meanwhile, much of the Latin world teaches their own 6-continent model, combining both of the Americas as a single continent. Obviously, if we're looking at the idea of continents as land masses, both of these assertions are right. The border between Europe and Asia is very much a historical construct that resonates with the Greek conception of the world, and if we're going to divide alongside cultural lines, why not divide Africa according to a Saharan and Sub-Saharan division at the very least? Why not consider, say, the Indian subcontinent separate from Asia in the same way Europe is? Using similar borders made from mountains and rivers, it's more populous and by most measures more culturally, linguistically, and religiously diverse than Europe. Not saying Europe isn't a continent, just why divide Eurasia into 2? Why not 3, or more, or just into 1? And the Americas is also naturally one landmass. I'm not sure if you can argue that a canal really separates things. Maybe using the same logic that if you cut a sandwich in half, you have 2 smaller sandwiches, but if I paid for 2 regular-sized sandwiches, and you give me 2 halves of a sandwich, I'm going to launch into some irritable appeal that decrease in tactfulness. I might even cause a minor scene. That'll show you. Speaking of cutting sandwiches with canals, or whatever it was we were talking about, if we say a canal doesn't split continents into 2 and Eurasia is one continent, well then Afro-Eurasia is one continent, since the Suez Canal separates Eurasia from Africa. And after that you can go even further, can't you? Antarctica doesn't have typical stable human habitation, so is that a continent, according to a definition made by and for humans? Is Australia really the smallest continent, or is it just the largest island? If we say that, then are there really just 2 continents, the so-called Old World of Afro-Eurasia and the so-called New World of the Americas? But, as you can imagine, the island question just opens up a further can of worms. Greenland is almost a third the size of Australia while being nearly 3 times the size of the next largest island, New Guinea. Of course, you have to draw the line somewhere, but Greenland seems to be an outlier as either the largest island or smallest continent, albeit the same can be said for Australia, which while being larger in size also has similar, vast, sparsely populated lands mostly filled with creatures trying to kill you. The difference being in Australia it's kangaroos and insane spiders. In Greenland it's American mining companies on reconnaissance missions. Okay, there's the anti-Trump joke, go ahead and ignore the rest of the video and make a comment about how I'm a sheep or whatever. Bonus points for personal insults I've already heard. Back to the topic of large islands, New Guinea is an interesting case. Biogeographically, it's connected very much to Australia, being historically part of the same landmass, but politically the island is divided as its western half is part of Indonesia, while its eastern half is its own country, so according to some measures this island is part of 2 continents. Do we even say that this is another minor continent, especially considering how much linguistic and cultural diversity exists on this? There's an argument to be had. Now, these examples might make the whole concept seem confusing, and that's kind of the point. Continents are trying to divide the Earth alongside multiple boundaries at the same time. According to multiple factors of physical geography, culture, climate, biodiversity, as well as tectonic plates, which I don't even discuss at all in this video. Depending on what field you are discussing, any of several definitions could apply. What makes categorization so fun and interesting, in my opinion, is that most things will find ways to escape perfect categorization, and the analysis itself can illuminate those unique situations. It's also why I feel like it's missing the point when people try so hard to defend their preferred methods of categorizations, as if there is essential truth to the boundaries we have been taught in school that these definitions aren't fuzzy or subject to reanalysis in different contexts. I could probably explicitly extend that as an analogy to other things, but those of you willing to look at life that way are probably already seeing the double meaning. Regardless, thank you for watching, and I will have more coming soon.